Now, I personally believe that we're at a crossroads right now
Yes.
because
Yes.
collective consciousness and opinion
Mm-hmm.
of the people is what is always at the basis of any
Right.
government policy. Do
Mm.
you think for 1 second that a government can go against the free will of the people for very long? I don't believe it's possible. History tells us
Mm-hmm.
no, and
Mm-hmm.
they know this very well. So what they try to
Right.
do, if in this case they're trying to reintroduce certain medical policies designed to protect us yet again from some shamira, from
That's
some
right.
shamiric illness that has
Yes.
not even raised its head yet, but they're
Mm-hmm.
preparing for round two. And I'm
That's
not
right.
going to mention the names or the medical descriptions or any of those things because I don't think it's
Right.
necessary. Because I think that we're talking to an educated adult audience that knows
Correct.
exactly what I mean. And what
Yes.
I mean is that if you cannot fool the people one more time, what do? You incite them.
Right.
You incite them. You poke them. You proselytize them. You create such emotional division in society that it gives you an ability to force them, whereas
Mhm.
in the past they believed you. And now
Right.
we saw a protest in the streets today in Vancouver, which is the
Right.
most influential protest I ever saw. A group of
Mm.
people came out with masks and with
Right.
placards, and they tried
Right.
to say and tried to demand that we all be protected from some Shamira
Right.
once again. Now, there was no government, prognosis of this. There was no official announcement of anything dangerous. These people are
Right.
just suddenly there. They're trying to
Mm.
what we call whip up or prepare the people and instill fear in them and so on. Well,
Right.
fortunately, there were some more sane and more intelligent people who came out at that same place on the
Yes.
streets of Vancouver with their counter protest. And that counter protest was you will not constrict our freedoms again. You will not
Right.
lie to us again. You will not
Right.
tell us that we're in danger when we're not. You will
Right.
not infect us with your virus, which is a psychological one.
Sure.
Because the fact is that the death rate in this country has not changed for the last 5 years.
That's right.
Your
And
opinion, sir?
the information by the public health officials during within the last 3 years have
Mm-hmm.
it deliberately misrepresented the actual death figures by
Mm-hmm.
taking away the seasonal flu numbers
Uh
and
huh.
bring it down to zero.
Uh
And
huh.
then meanwhile, they up
Mm-hmm.
the so-called man-made disease,
Right.
respiratory illness, death numbers that way.
I saw a little game like that at the amusement park. It's got the three little red shells, and you got a bean
Right,
in one of them, right? And you move the
right,
shells around, and you ask the guy which bean is under which shell, and
that's
and
right.
then and then they say, oh, the bean's under shell number one, and I bet $10 on that. And then
Right,
they shuffle the shells and they say, okay, now find it. And they say, oh, the
right.
bean's over here. I was watching. But no, they
Hmm.
lose every time because there's a little hole in the table where
Right,
the shell goes down and then there's another shell that pops up. So
right.
you got cheated. You got fooled. And what you thought you saw with your
That's right.
eyes is
That's
not what
right.
is not what not the truth.
That's right. Well, the higher so-called government authorities
Hmm.
and the representatives are trying hard to drum up this narrative second time round. So much so that they are once again repeating the narratives
Yes.
in certain parts of United States, citing that they tested the sewer waters, there's the
Uh-huh.
There's it tested positive for the new variants and
Uh-huh.
so on and so forth. So I asked myself, I said, self, why does it sound so familiar with the same old tricks broadcasted in the Canadian side of mainstream media on
Right.
and off from one province to another, where
Uh-huh.
they said the officials tested positive in the sewer waters? Funny, isn't it?
Isn't it? Well, you don't have to worry about the veracity of a government official because people may
No,
have lost faith.
I'm more,
Well,
yeah,
now we
I'm
can look
more
in the sewer
into,
water.
yes, I'm more into the trending and the diligent observations of the fact that they use this they've been repeating this same tricks from the playbook over and over again, okay, trying to intimidate us general
Right.
publics over and over again.
Well, how about this
Same old
one?
tricks, same old playbooks, and
Uh-huh.
it's so funny that there are certain bunch of peoples out there, general public,
Mm-hmm.
that's still falling for it without thinking it over.
Well, how about this one? There's
Like, do
there's a
they really
horrible
have a
yeah.
memory span of a goldfish, which typically lasts 3 minutes
Oh,
or less?
collectively, it appears that we don't.
Right.
And the unfortunate thing is that they encourage that. They encourage that
That's right.
by constantly
That's right.
changing their narrative and constantly switching the
That's
goalposts.
right.
So we look here and not there. Like, for example, I've got a good idea. How about we find a horrible killer virus on the moon, and it's so virulent that it'll wipe out the human race.
Right.
And there happens to be a space anomaly, as in a solar wind from the sun, which is gonna blow that virus all the way over here. And
Oh,
we just
wow.
have to get into our bomb shelters and our underground uh, storage
Underground hiding
hiding
place.
places,
Right.
and we have to prepare for the worst because we're under attack. Oh, now the
Sure. Sure.
government can protect us. The government can say, "Oh,
That's
we're going
right.
to launch some rockets and some satellites, and we're going to protect you all from this horrible invasion of this virus
Sure.
that's going to kill you
Sure.
all." Well, you know what? I don't really
One.
feel like believing this kind of scenario any longer.
Right. That's right. Fool me once, okay? Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
Exactly. So, what's really going
Okay.
on here? Are we going to wake up and are we going to see the truth?
Well, those who are wake up or even partially awake,
Uh huh.
or to a certain degree, wouldn't fall for this trick second time
Uh huh.
round. Like I said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me
Mm-hmm.
twice, shame on me. So this is the second time round.
Uh huh.
And secondly, they still trying very hard to force us to surrender our sovereignty
Yes.
by all kinds of tricks.
Oh,
Oh, there's
tricks.
alien
Oh,
invasion,
how about some
protecting.
fires? How about some storms? How about some natural disasters? How about some
Right,
earthquakes? How about some other
right.
things that are designed to put us in mortal fear of our lives and losing our houses,
Oh,
our properties, our children, and our families?
that's
Could
right.
that just be a coincidence? Or could it be a plan? Could it be a plan to steal everything we have from us and force us to
Yes.
accept charity and, food stamps or
Sure.
emergency supplies from some government organization? Put us on our
Yes.
knees and force us to beg. Stop.